Terrifier was written and directed by Damien Leone, who did a Terrifier short that led to this full-length feature and led to Terrifier 2, which I will be checking out after I'm done with this review. And I decided to watch this because I hadn't seen it and people requested it. And I decided, well, hell, why watch Terrifier 2 before I watch Terrifier 1? You really don't do that because you have to start at the beginning, and when you come to the end, you stop. As the great genius, mad genius as he were, the Mad Hatter once said. He also did a movie called All Hallows Eve, and Damien also did the special makeup effects. And I will say right now that this movie made the most of its 35 grand budget. They got a lot out of that, a lot of ingenuity, and a lot of great effort from the cast and the crew, some great practical effects, and this absolutely falls under the torture porn subgenre of horror. Now, this movie gained a cult following after it came out, and time got away from me. I just never got a chance to get around to it, but after hearing, people wanting me to review it, and after hearing about Terrifier 2, I'm like, okay, let me check it out. And I will say that outside of one particular scene that made me think, okay, probably shouldn't have eaten before this, the rest of the violence, while gratuitous, didn't necessarily get to me. The plot, such as it is taking place on Halloween night, and Art the Clown, who is played by David Howard Thornton, who apparently got the job because he, auditioned well, and obviously if you audition well, you will get a part. That's usually how it works in Hollywood. And because he had mime experience previously, he incorporated that into his audition and into playing Art the Clown. I mean, and he's pretty goddamn terrifying, I will say that. Mr. Thornton did a really, really good job here. The main reason that I wanted to see this is because of the character Tara, played by Jenna Cannell. When I saw The Bye-Bye Man, which admittedly was not a great movie, the cast, you could tell, was trying. The movie was a goddamn hodgepodge and a mess. When I saw Jenna Cannell, I'm like, hello, hi, I'm intrigued. Who is this? Where can I see more movies that she's been in? And I will say she's a great follow on Twitter as well. Speaks up for a lot of really good causes, and I think has potential to be a great scream queen. She's perfectly made for horror. And she sinks her teeth into roles and is really, really good as, a victim, as good at fighting back as a badass, and makes the most of any role that she has. And she makes most of her role in this. Now, the plot is really thin. I mean, it's really goddamn thin. It's about a character called Art the Clown, who is terrifying as far as the makeup, the white makeup, the little top hat, and the fact that he is mostly soaked in blood for about 85% of the goddamn movie. The movie's only 85 minutes long, so you can definitely get through it pretty quickly. And yeah, there's attacks by a murderous clown named Art the Clown. I don't know why anyone would want to get within 500 yards of this guy, because you just look at him and you're just like, okay, this guy's not right. Let me go over here. But of course, slasher logic dictates that people must get in his way, must become his victims. Just another victim, as Cypress Hill did for Taz's theme one time. If you are a non-wrestling fan, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And there's blood and gore and gratuitous stuff, and also a hook for a possible sequel, which ended up happening. It actually came out a little bit earlier this year. So there are going to be spoilers here in a bit. I mean, the movie's 6 years old, and it's also about a murderous clown named Art the Clown. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. There are weird characters and a few, it's a very, very small cast. And I will say, again, they make the most of the 35 grand budget with great practical effects and some good, a lot of corn syrup and a lot of, whatever they use for blood, some pretty good stuff. And Jenna Cannell does well. Samantha Scafidi, who plays Victoria, her sister, yes, she's lost her mind. She does good as well. And everybody else, I mean, there's really, outside of, Art the Clown, nobody really gets a ton of time. There's Dawn, played by Catherine Corcoran, and she, she's the ditzy blonde, the ditzy drunk blonde. And then there's Cat Lady. And I do want to put over the makeup effects. Some really, really good stuff here, and the fact that they made the most out of this, and they did pretty well. I'm not gonna say this movie's necessarily great, but I appreciate rather the ingenuity and the fact that they made it for such a small amount of money, and it gained so much notoriety and buzz. They were able to get a sequel with a bigger budget, still only 250 grand. That's saying something. I mean, hey, the guy put his short film idea to full length, and was able to get it out to the masses and gain a pretty good following. Can't fault him for that. So yeah, there's going to be spoilers here. I mean, the 6-year-old movie, but nevertheless, going to get into it. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, in the beginning, there was rap, as Dr. Dre once said. There's a talk show host interviewing the lone survivor of the Miles County Massacre, and it's somebody that doesn't have much of a face left. Why doesn't she have much of a face left? Because her face got destroyed by Art the Clown. You don't get any prizes for guessing who the hell the sister was. It was Victoria. It was Victoria, by the way. That's who it was. So we go back to a year ago. We see Tara and Dawn, and they're having fun. They're all dressed up. Jenna looked great, by the way. Look great. Goddamn great. And she, she's trying to be the smarter one. Dawn's a little bit too drunk. They were going to drive home, and had they driven home, they probably would have been able to be just fine. But nope, Art the Clown sees them in an alleyway somewhere in relation to where their car was. I don't exactly know about the geography there. But instead of maybe letting, I don't know, Tara drive home, Dawn decides to be a bitch. They go to a pizza parlor, and Art the Clown shows up with a body bag. Literally a body bag, guess what it is. The pizza guy gets pissed off with him. Art ends up going to use the bathroom and does something really bad, and the guy kicks him out. And then Tara and Dawn are really, really, alarmed, especially Tara. And just before that, Art decides to be nice, get a little thing, take a quarter, put it in one of those little toy, machines that used to be around a whole lot, and got a little ring and put it on her finger. Oh, so sweet. She'll be dead soon. She'll be dead because he's a murderous clown. And before that, fucking Dawn decides to take pictures with that murderous clown. That guy, you don't even look like you want to get within the same zip code of him. But basically what ends up happening is there's shit all over the wall. Somehow he managed to paint his name there in shit. I don't know how much shit he had, but nevertheless, there's a guy cleaning it up. And then the pizza guy ends up dead. Somehow Art was able to hollow out this guy's head, put candles in it, and then he cleavered the guy's hand and took that off and everything and killed him. And meanwhile, Tara and Dawn are dealing with the fact that they have a flat tire. Well, there just happens to be somebody over there where I can use the bathroom. Let me go in this abandoned building with this weird janitor. And then Dawn gets killed. And then Tara gets targeted for a while. Quite a while. Before this, she ends up calling her sister that was supposed to study for a final, but she's like, okay, I will go and I will rescue you because the roommates here are making out and I can't be bothered to really stay awake anymore. So I can't study. Let me just go get you. So basically the whole thing about the one scene that ends up really terrifying everybody and pretty much, grossed me out was Dawn's tied upside down. Art has a bone saw and proceeds to saw through pretty much her entire body. And they show quite a bit of it. Good gore effects, good makeup effects, I'll say that much. That was gross. That was pretty goddamn gross. That's actually what I wrote down. Well, this is gross. There's a weird cat lady that just randomly pops in here and there that has a doll that she thinks is her daughter or something or whatever. I'm not really sure. The sister arrives. The janitor got clubbed in the goddamn head a bit later on while trying to call somebody. Tara got shot a couple times, got shot three times, once in the face, and then got shot 5 other times. The cat lady tells the janitor, please, you need to call the cops, and then the janitor gets hit over the head. And then Art the Clown so he's killed Tara. He's targeting the sister. He ends up having the cat lady's doll somehow, and she says, oh, do you have no empathies or anything in your soul? Please just give her back or whatever. She even tries to coddle him like a kid while he sucks his thumb, and I don't know what's going on. This is weird. This is really goddamn weird. And then Art kills the janitor's boss, who arrives, and then people start doing really stupid shit. There aren't a whole lot of people left to kill. This movie has a shockingly low body count. I mean, it's like, the pizza guy, the janitorial pizza guy, the janitor, Tara, Dawn. It's 5 people. There's probably 6 in there somewhere. By the way, there's also there was a radio thing, overplaying before all the, the rest of these murders happened, just after the pizza stuff. Suddenly this news radio broadcast on AM radio, on the AM radio, as Everclear once said, they somehow have all this information that's been passed out, and we've seen, like, okay, instant news. I mean, good God, that was really goddamn quick. So, the sister ends up getting targeted. Even though Tara fought back really well, she damaged Art. She still got shot in the goddamn face a whole bunch. She got her hair taken off, and Art was wearing that while going around naked and everything, in Tara's hair. Hera, as it were. And then, even though it seems like the sister was finally able to take him down, she's suddenly getting attacked with plastic. It's fantastic. She manages to get a hole there to breathe. The janitor somehow is still alive after getting hammered in the head, which had to hurt. Had to goddamn hurt. He beats down Art the Clown, calls the cops, and then he gets killed by getting hit in the head with some kind of canister, and then his head being stomped literally in. The sister manages to stab him a few times, once with a nail, and just continue to chop him down with the edge of her hand. And then she's trying to get out, but then Art somehow gets outside, gets in the boss's truck, and runs her down. And she's laying there. The cops arrive, and they're going to shoot him. But then he's got a gun. He's still got that gun that he reloaded, and he shoots himself in the face. Shoots himself right in the mouth. And before that, he was eating her face. So there's where the face thing was. And then the two bodies are taken, of the janitor and Art the Clown, are taken to the coroner / laundromat. Looks like somebody's basement. Don't look in the basement. That's a different movie. Then the lights go weird, and weird voices and all wonky shit, all supernatural, and Art's alive somehow after shooting himself in the head. And the sister was the one that did the attack. It was a talk show host insulted her. Terrifier, ladies and gentlemen. Also, one of the funniest lines, I think, in the entire movie. That's the longest piss that I've ever had to take. I want that written on my tombstone. Or on my urn, because I plan to be cremated. Nevertheless, Terrifier was fun-ish. It was fine. I don't necessarily get the big hype about it. I think outside of that pelvic sawing scene, it was typical. But nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.